Well, good evening. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Before I begin, I want to go around the room and have each person say, I am, and then I want you to say what you are. Because the words that follow I am is what you become. And so when you have people constantly telling you, you are this or you are that, and they're talking down on you, you have to have that power inside of you to say, but I am great. I am beautiful. I am wonderful. I am intelligent. And when you know who you are, no one can define and give you the definition of who you are. Yes. So I'm going to go around the room. We'll start at this table. And all I want you to do is just powerfully say, I am. And it doesn't matter if you've heard one of the words, you can still repeat it. Because whatever you feel in your heart that you are, that is what you are. And you get to say that. And you get to say it with a smile. So we're going to start here. Those are the things that you get to wake up every morning and say to yourself. Look in the mirror and tell yourself who you are. Because again, the words that follow I am is what you become. So I want to have you guys, I just want to take you through a brief meditation just to connect your heart to today, to connect your heart to who you were and who you are now. So I want you guys to sit up straight with your feet flat on the floor. And I invite you to close your eyes or find a very soft gaze. And take a deep inhale and exhale. And as you inhale, I want you to think of this beautiful bright white light. And as you exhale, I want you to imagine this white light pouring all over you. And just continue to follow your breath softly and bring into the mind's eye the woman you were 8 weeks ago. And if you are here and did not go through the program 8 weeks ago, I just want you to think about a moment in your life that was life-changing for you. So as you bring that woman into your mind's eye, I want you to think of this beautiful, bright pink light that goes from your heart to hers. Thank her for the woman she was. You are today because of who she was yesterday. Thank her for being strong even when she didn't have strength. Thank her for choosing to survive against all odds. Now I want you to honor her for being a yes to something better, for growing into the beautiful woman here today. Honor her for choosing to begin her healing. Look into her eyes. Give her the biggest hug for showing up in her power after once feeling powerless. Look deep into her eyes and say to her, the love you needed then is the love I give you today. Take a deep breath. And just breathe for a moment as you come back into this space, as you gave honor and love to the woman that you once were. She was beautiful then, and she is beautiful today. Go ahead and open your eyes. Did anyone really connect to that woman that you were? So I'll share a little bit of my story. About 4 years ago, I had no idea who I was more than I was a mother. I was a divorced wife, woman. And I have 4 children. I have 4 children with my husband. And he informed us by sitting us down and letting us know that he would no longer be a father, or a husband. And he needed to restart his life as if he was never married or had children. And he disappeared. So I was left broken with my own emotions, as well as trying to understand the emotions of 4 children, each who had their own emotions as well. I would look in the mirror and didn't know who I was, but everybody else saw the girl who was happy, the girl who had a smile on her face, but in the mirror I was empty, I was soulless, and that smile that everybody else saw did not exist inside of me. And one night, December 31st, 2014, I found myself awake in the middle of the night, and I felt a nudge, and I was like, whoa, what was that? And I laid back down, and I felt it again, and it was God. Yeah. And he said, you have got to make the biggest change in your life, or your years ahead will be just like your years past. Mm-hmm. And it shook me to my core. But I knew that I was being given the opportunity to grow into the woman that he knew he had created me to be. And so I embarked on a spiritual journey, an awakening. At first I thought, I'll pay for someone to help me. But then I had to change my words, and I realized I'm going to invest in myself, because I've got 4 people looking up to me. But more importantly, I need to look up to me. I need to know who this woman is when she looks in the mirror. I need to know that she is purposeful. I need to know that she's beautiful. Because if I am not at my best, my children have no idea how to be their best. And so that's what I did. And I had that aha moment. I like to talk. And what I wanted to do was, I wanted to help women every day of my life feel how I felt the moment my life changed. Because it is possible. And when you feel so far and so low that you don't know what to do, you can always look up. That is what I had to do. That is what I did. And through that journey, I created Champion Empowerment, her meaning to heal, evolve, and renew. Because we're always on a journey of healing. We're always on a journey of evolving. We're always on a journey of renewing ourselves. As women, I believe that we are the healers of the earth. Why? Because what do they call earth? Mother Earth. What do they call nature? Mother Nature. And I want you to think about when there's a hurricane, when there's an earthquake, when there's a fire, the mountains burn. Do you ever see anyone go up there and replant a mountain? But all of a sudden, over time, the burn of that mountain is gone. That mountain becomes what it's always been. Therefore, it heals itself. No one goes back out after a hurricane and replant trees. Or, we always know it waters the grass, but we have the power to heal ourselves just like nature does. And I just want to take you for a moment through the journey of you planting yourself into the root of who you are, just like a tree, okay? When you think of a tree, we all look at the outside of it, correct? We see the trunk, we see the branches, we see the leaves, and it's beautiful. It provides shade, it's providing air. But what we don't see are the roots beneath the tree. And the reason why that tree is so magical is because of what is happening beneath the soil with the roots. You get to be planted and rooted into the person that God designed you to be. And it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. You can cut a tree down, but if those roots are planted, if those roots are strong, that tree will grow back. When you are planted in who you are, when you are planted into the belief of your soul and your spirit, and you know that no matter what I've been through, I stand strong, you have the power to completely regrow. Branches break, just like hearts, just like spirits. Leaves fall off. But again, when the core of who you are is strong and powerful, you will grow back. Your heart will mend. Your spirit will grow. Those beautiful life lessons that I tend to call leaves, they're coming back for you. They're going to be there. And stand strong in that power. The top of a tree, where the branches and the leaves, it's called a crown. How beautiful it is to know that each of you, no matter what you've been through, you are still a queen. You still get to wear a crown. And if it's turned around, flip it back around. Because you are never without your crown. No matter what you've been through, you are never without your crown. When the root of who you are is healthy, everything else is healthy. A lot of times we're looking at social media and we're like, gosh, I wish I could be her, or I wish I could look like this, I wish I could look like that. But we are seeing 5 seconds of the outside of a person. We have no idea behind the lens of that camera what they went through, what existed for them. I hear people tell me all the time, oh my God, you have it so together. I'm like, go back and meet me 4 years ago. You couldn't say, how are you, without me breaking down into tears. I didn't have belief in myself. I didn't know whether I was coming or going. But I knew when God said it was time for a change, that change had to happen. What I want to do is I'm going to walk around and just give one person something at the table, and you guys can each pass it around just for the sake of time. Because what is implanted in us is God. That little voice that tells you you can do it is the voice that you get to listen to. Those powerful feelings that you have that tell you you can do it. Like she said, she didn't know she could, but for some reason she kept passing the test. Even when she didn't believe in herself. The belief was her test that she was passing. But she had to pass more to really believe in herself. And that is what we call faith. Sometimes you don't see it. Sometimes you don't know it's coming, but it's there. So I'm going to pass out something for each of you. And they're very tiny, so just take one and pass it around, or take a few. Can you tell me what that is? It's a mustard seed. Do you know why I passed it out? Roxanne?
Because you just need faith as small as a mustard seed.
As small as a mustard seed.
Yes.
That is all you need, no matter how you feel, no matter what somebody is telling you. If you feel low, if you feel high, if you feel good, if you feel bad, all you need is that tiny, tiny, tiny bit of faith, and your life will change. And sometimes it is very hard to connect to because there is so much going on. We have so many hurricanes in our lives. But no matter what you are feeling and what you're going through, you need that tiny, tiny, tiny bit of faith. And as you have that tiny bit of faith and you trust it even when you cannot see the road ahead of you, that faith will grow. That faith will manifest. That faith will become all that you need to become the woman that you were designed to be. So I want you to connect to that faith that's inside of you. Honor yourself for going through this program, because it was a little bit of faith that you saw in this program that you said, could that little bit of faith change my life? And you're here today with the power of yes. You are a yes to changing your life. You are a yes to becoming better. You are a yes to know that you are no longer a victim. You are a victor. You are a yes to knowing that you are as beautiful as the day you were born. You are a yes to know that you are an inspiration. Someone is looking up to you. Whether you see them, whether you know them, every time you share your story, someone is impacted. Someone is affected. Someone is like, wow, if she did it, maybe I can. And all that person needs is that tiny little bit of faith. So share a mustard seed with someone and know that no matter what life brings you, no matter how many hurricanes and storms come, if your tree gets knocked down, it is okay, because God implanted you with so much and so much power, so much love, so much support, that you are rooted into his greatness because you are living in your greatness. Thank you.